want to become an ultralight hiker but just think it's too expensive, today I'm going to show you how to be an ultralight hiker on a budget. I'm Taylor and welcome to Southern Hike. So I did a video a few weeks ago why I'm not an ultralight hiker. It's just my opinion, is although I do have some ultralight options I have my eyes on, it's just my personal choice, so I would check that video out later. It just talks about my reasons for why I'm not one, although it is one of those listed on there is talking about budget. So in this video, I want to talk about how to actually become an ultralight hiker when you're on a budget. So first, I want to say it's okay to be a hybrid ultralight hiker and get the best of both worlds. A hybrid ultralight hiker, I don't think I've coined that phrase, is just basically being someone who still loves their luxury items but has some ultralight items they use too, just to knock off weight where they can. To be honest, I feel like some ultralight hikers do it as a hobby in itself, just to see how much they can shed weight to get to their lightest point and still do backpacking trips. It's just a separate hobby of or niche of backpacking in itself, and a lot of hikers will tell you that. So honestly, I consider myself a hybrid. I do love my luxury item. There is some things I like to do ultralight. Honestly, have my eyes on a few different things. Make sure you be looking out in some videos in the future, because I'm planning on to buy some things this year that would be more lighter items, would kind of fall almost in the ultralight line. But here's the thing, I'm on a budget too, so I can't go out all ultralight and still be able to afford to go hiking. It's just very expensive if you want to buy a lot of ultralight hiking items at once, and honestly will run off a lot of people from it just by looking at the prices. I mean, if you really look at it, some of the ultralight tents are $500 to $600. I mean, that's really expensive for a tent. A lot of tents out there, I mean, the one we've used for years was only like $130 and it's done pretty well. Yes, it weighs double what an ultralight tent would weigh, but I mean, it's still a durable tent, it does well, fits in the pack well, but it's just a lot more affordable, so that becomes a lot more budget-friendly item. But honestly, 2 pounds is a huge difference on your back in the end. If you're doing 20 to 30 miles, that weight will add up. So the thing is that you can't do this all in a day. If you really want to become an ultralight hiker or a hybrid, you're really just gonna have to do it one step at a time. So this is my thoughts here. If you are new to hiking period, I would start with a budget, see what you can afford, pick some basic items. Maybe you start with one basic ultralight item, but pick some other more affordable items, get on the trail and start using those items. Find out what works for you, find out what you wanna upgrade, find out what's not working, find out some different options or what kind of things, even on your pack, what exactly, different accessory compartments and things like that. Do you need them, or is it just a big waste? Do you like to stuff everything in a big stack? Because there's a lot of different packs that are more about just having that one large main compartment and still have room for your side packs and things like that, and not feel like you're carrying a duffel bag on your back like some ultralight packs do. So if you've already got a basic loadout, and this is where I am, I have some more ultralight things, but I want to go ahead and upgrade to some other items and still have my luxury items like we've talked about already. First, I would really stick to picking what thing is most important to you, what thing do you really want to focus on upgrading first. Find out what item you really like, search reviews. There's so many of them out there, so many honestly other videos talking about different tents, packs, quilts, sleeping pads, everything. Find out what exactly do you want to find to upgrade first and see what's going to fit your budget first and start with that item. Honestly, get some wear on it and then you can move on to the next item. And then not to mention, when you finally finish those big 3 items, you can really start looking at your stove. Is your stove too heavy? I'm going to do a video talking about what's my favorite kit for on the trail as far as my kitchen stove and my setup for my kitchen. Honestly, I've loved to learn about that because everybody does a little something different, but at the same time, I have found that my setup that I found, there's a lot of people that use that setup too. So everybody does something a little different. It depends on how you like to eat. Do you bring your own food, or do you use dry food, just in the bags? Or what is going to be best for you for your circumstances and how you like to carry your food. And then again, talking about your sleeping pad, how important is your sleeping pad, and then, something else that mentions too is to use a hammock. A lot of ultralight hikers want to shift to a hammock. I like to sleep in a tent. I've found that my sleeping pad does pretty well, so I haven't really seen a need for a hammock. I have gone hammock camping before, but I just like to basically have the covering of a tent at the same time. And then also your chair. If you want to carry a chair with you, I did a video, I'll link it above, about the Hillenux Chair Zero. That is a more ultralight option if you like a chair. It comes in right at a pound, fits perfectly on my pack, It's very light and it's very comfortable and it handles my weight well. Okay guys, so like I've already listed, once you find that one item, get it, go ahead and get back out on the trail and see if it works well for you, and then it's time to start budgeting for the next item. Now it depends on what is most important to you. You know, if you've already done a new backpack, then you want to look at tents, and then you want to look at sleeping bags. Now it's important that you go ahead, I would think, and make sure you have the right tent and sleeping bag you want to go with first before you get a pack. That way you know what size pack you're going to need for the tent or quilt or sleeping bag, or however you plan to carry your gear. If you're playing in a hammock, you won't need near the room. So honestly, this is not some secret strategy. I couldn't tell you how many people I've talked to on the trail that this is how they've really built their gear setup. They're more ultralight, you know, hybrid setup, still have their luxury items, but really have gotten their weight down. They just picked one item at a time, searched for that item, went through reviews, found out what accompanied it, what they liked the most about that item, and went with that one, upgraded it, and slowly started shedding more weight. And so saying that this is the most common strategy, I just want to help the guys that are still looking for the items get there and not feel overwhelmed. You can do it one item at a time. Don't worry about having to upgrade everything at once. Don't worry about getting out there in the first time on the trail and you're like, oh my God, I had way too much weight. This is not gonna work. Go ahead, lay your items out. Find out what things you used on that trip and find out what you're gonna need to do next to shed items that you're not using at all. I had someone mention in the comments before, they said that they'll take an item 3 times. If they never use that item in those 3 times, they get rid of it. That is honestly a great strategy to use. All right guys, so if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to stick around. This year I plan to upgrade a lot of my items, and I'm gonna basically bring it to the channel and say why I decided on these items in the order that I decided to upgrade them, and explain to you what best worked for me and why I like them, what I don't like about them. So hopefully we'll have some reviews in there too. Me and my wife, Rachel, are both avid outdoors people, so we love to upgrade gear. We're both gear nerds and like to try out new things, so we'll be glad to bring those to you and show how they've worked for us. Really hope you enjoyed this video. We are Southern Hiker. If you're new here again, I hope you subscribe. If you enjoy this content, please make sure to hit the like button if you liked it also. We hope you're here to stick around and make sure to hit the bell below, and we'll see you next Tuesday as we talk about our next topic. See you next week, guys.